oftentimes in relationships, you have two very different personalities, you know, the old opposites attract scenario.
Sure, one person likes a little peace and quiet at the end of the day. The other wants to have a long talk or hit the town. So how do you work out the differences? Joining us now is relationship guru Kirsten Lind Seal. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
So this is the classic introvert-extrovert issue.
It's, you know, I see this with so many couples in my practice, and it's so interesting because I do think that we're attracted to something that we see in another person that we don't have in ourselves. So if we're really lively and talkative, someone's calm and steadiness might really attract us, and vice versa. But then, of course, what happens is as you get further and further into the relationship, there can be some real conflict around these basic differences in temperament.
Well, can we start with first the difference between an extrovert and an introvert? Because I do think there's a little bit of misunderstanding about, especially what an introvert actually is.
Exactly, exactly. And the thing is being an introvert doesn't mean that you don't like people or that you don't like being around people. And being an extrovert doesn't mean that you just always need to be around people. But the way you gain your energy is the reason that we sort of separate the temperaments out in this way. Extroverts really gain their energy from being around people, and introverts really need alone time in order to process and to feel like they are being, sort of their well is being filled.
It's hard because especially when you're trying to negotiate conflict, introverts and extroverts have very different strategies.
Yes, exactly. So introverts tend to really need some time to think about it, and extroverts want to talk about it right then. Like, okay, something went wrong, we need to deal with it.
Let's fix it, let's go.
Exactly, let's fix it, let's go. And introverts are like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Right.
And then extroverts take it personally, like, what, you don't want to talk to me? And introverts are like, no, it's not that,
Aren't you over it? Aren't you over it?
Exactly.
I thought we talked about this.
I know.
These may be issues that I'm familiar with.
Right. Oddly, right?
Yeah.
So what then can you do to find that common ground? Because if you're that person who needs to talk about it immediately, walking away is not the easiest thing to do.
Right. So the first thing is that you have to be compassionate and understand that these are like characterological, realities about each other.
You're not going to change the other person.
You're not going to change, and this is why one of those, we've talked before on this program about the unsolvable problems. This is one of them where you're not going to turn an extrovert into an introvert or vice versa. There is some movement throughout our life. It's really interesting on the spectrum, right? But you're not going to do a basic personality switch, and you're also not going to be able to force your loved one to be like you. So the most important thing is figuring out how to manage that and to basically respect and honor the preference of your loved one. So,
and then you want to pick your moment.
And then you want to pick your moment. Exactly. So if you are the extrovert and you need to want to talk right away with the introvert, you need to understand, wow, I might really do better waiting a little bit. Like it might be a better outcome for the conversation instead of everything blowing up.
And sometimes these differences, they can be very deeply rooted too. These aren't things that happened 10 minutes ago. These are from when you grew up.
Exactly. I mean, we're kind of born with this, I think, and I mean, for instance, so I'm an extrovert and I don't need a lot of time alone. I really get my energy from being with people, right? Surprise, right? So, so I find myself energized when I'm around people, which is good. I'm in a people profession. I am with people a lot, so this is a good fit. My husband is more of an introvert, and early on in our marriage, it was difficult because he would come home and he would just want to go read the paper and lie down for half an hour, and I'd be full of things I wanted to talk to him about, and gradually we negotiated how to do that so that he got some time, and I understood it wasn't about me, right? It's not about whether or not he's interested in what's going on with me or whether he wants to talk to me. It's that he just needs some downtime.
So maybe a couple conversations to get that started.
Conversations,
the bottom line is that the difference is, part of that is what attracted us to the other person.
Exactly.
So you don't want to just obsess about the difference.
Exactly.
Celebrate it.
Celebrate it. And one of the things that's really funny is that, we all have our different lens and our perspective that we come from and how we see things. But the fact is, people are very different from one another. And even if you're similar in many characteristics, you still are going to be really different. And understanding those differences and appreciating them is what can really help relationships thrive.
Love it.
We love your teal, by the way.
Why, thank you.
Nice.
Yeah, I got the memo.
You got the memo.
Right. You did.
Thanks, Kirsten.